Hello. Hi ladies, welcome. I am so sorry we are late. We have had trouble getting on. So you've probably seen I'm just waiting for Gemma to get onto tonight's webinar because Gemma is going to be talking to us about home parties. And my screen is frozen. So just let me say hello. If you can hear me and everything's all right, ladies, will you just say hello? Yes, I can see the chats coming. Hi, thank you so much for being patient. I'm hoping if people have logged on at 9 and they've logged back off, then obviously they will still get this training on a replay. So obviously tonight's is hi, yes, they can see and hear me. Perfect. Let's hope that Gemma can get on because she's our home party queen. Hello, hi, yes. Hello. Okay, so this week we are on pillar 4, which is all about events. Now, events have different meanings, so you're probably thinking, why are we talking about home parties when it's events? Now, we have so many different things that we cover. Online parties are events. Your home parties are events. Obviously, attending training events and corporate events, they're all classed as events. So it all kind of falls under the same umbrella. I promise you I've not gone crazy. And because obviously we repeat this training on a 4-weekly basis, we want to cover like every single topic from every angle that you could think of. So for those that are new to the business, and this might be your first pillar training call, you have joined us whilst we're on week 4, but don't worry, because next week we go back to week 1. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how the pillar training works. And I can see my screen keeps freezing, so I'm hoping it's coming back okay to you girls. So we have the 4 pillars to success, which is a weekly training program, and we believe that these areas, if you do them consistently every single day, then your business will be a success. So we have pillar 1, which is all about personal development. Pillar 2, which is all about customers, because without customers, we wouldn't be getting any sales. Pillar 3 is all about sponsoring. And pillar 4 is obviously all about events. So I'm hoping, Gemma, you're coming through loud and clear. Yes, that was perfect timing. Did you see how I mentioned Gemma's name and she appeared? Gemma, are you here? Are you with us? Let's see, have we got sound? Yes. Gemma?
Yay!
We have you.
My God, that was helpful.
Oh, yes, fantastic. So I literally just said your name then and your picture appeared on screen. How amazing is that? So without further ado, because I know you've all been waiting patiently, so thank you very much. I am going to hand you over to the fabulous Gemma, who is going to talk about home parties and why they are really good for your business. I've heard Gemma speak now a couple of times at different events and she is amazing. She has got this boxed off to a T. So grab your notepads, get your pens, ladies, and start taking notes, because that's what I'm going to do. So if I'm not looking at your screen, it's not because I'm not being ignorant, it's because I'm taking notes, as you should be as well. I manifested it. So Gemma, I am going to hand over to yourself. Let me make sure your lovely face is on this screen. Present to everyone, and I'm going to mute my camera while you start talking.
Can everyone hear us okay? Because I've got really crap laptop. It's rubbish. Can you hear us all right, Leanne? Sorry,
yeah. No, it's okay. I've just unmuted. I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Okie dokie. Hi, everybody. So you'll have to bear with us when Leanne asked us to do this. I've been away for the weekend and I've just come back this afternoon and I've just grabbed all my notes together. So it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So just bear with us, okay? So I'm going to talk to you tonight about home parties, how I do them, why I do them, and just the benefits of them and how fantastic they are for your PRS. So the first thing you need to do is obviously find your hostess, find that one person who, you know, wants to earn the free makeup, wants to help you out. Some people will do it just to help you out, but ultimately they're going to do it for the free makeup, and that's the emphasis we need to put on when we're advertising the party. There's a few ways you can find your hostess. I've been pretty lucky in that when I first started, there were people wanting to hold parties, and then I hold like regular parties with them afterwards. Like every time there's a new product launch, I'll go back to the people who've held parties in the past and ask them if they want to host another party. So to find your hostess, you need to brand your party first. You don't want to just call it a home party. You need to brand your party. So a few ideas for those are, just going to pop that down a little bit. A few ideas for those are, when you're thinking about going live and talking about them or doing new graphics, you can use Pamper and Prosecco, Bubbles and Beauty Party, Mascara and Merlot, you know, something to do with the beauty and having a drink or having a good time, something like that. So brand your party, and once you've found your brand, keep that consistent and use that every time you host a party. That'll start to go hand in hand with you. They'll associate that with you. So you can use Facebook graphics, which do work to an extent, but I find the best way is to go live with your branding, or make a little video on Viva Video, but definitely use a video to get your point across. Explain to them that it's easy for them. Literally, all your hostess needs to do to get all of her lovely free makeup and half-price items is to invite her friends to her house, put on some nibbles, and you'll take care of absolutely everything else. She doesn't need to be worrying about buying any kind of makeup, having a table ready. You know, you've got everything ready. She's literally inviting her friends around for girls' night in. Let them know how easy it is. People want this kind of party. They want it to be stress-free. So it's not as stress-free as maybe an online party where, you know, you can party in your PJs. I mean, they could party in the PJs if they all knew each other well enough, but still really relate to them how easy it's going to be for them. So go live on Facebook or make graphics. There's two different kinds of parties you can have. This one I'm going to be talking about tonight is more of your typical Saturday night home party, where you've got the girls around, you're having a few drinks, playing games, things like that. Or you can have more of a relaxed Sunday afternoon party, which is like a coffee or afternoon tea, coffee and cake, where you can maybe host it between 2 and 4 p.m. on a Sunday, and people just come along and drop in and try the products and order from there. They don't have to come at 7 o'clock on a Saturday, and they can't leave until I've finished talking, everyone's played with the makeup and things like that. So don't be put off if people won't host a Saturday night one, a Sunday afternoon one. We've had some fantastic orders from Sunday afternoon parties as well. If just by posting on Facebook or making a video you don't get parties, go to your VIPs. The people in your VIP group should be people who have bought from you before, ultimately, so they know the products, they hopefully love the products, and they're more likely to hold a party with you if they think they're going to get some of those products for free. So definitely contact your VIPs. Make sure you let them know the dates are really limited. So I tend to go to my VIPs and say, look, we've got some new products launching. If the regulars at home parties, I'll go to them every 6 months. We've got some new products launching. I want to be one of the first, you to be one of the first to have them at your home party. These are the 3 dates I've got available. Which one can you do? So you might have every weekend available for the next 6 months. People don't know that, and people on Facebook don't know that. Leanne, do I need to put my headphones on? A bit of background, is that? You've muted yourself now, Leanne.
Is it my background then? Sorry, because Nicholas has just got up. But yeah, it is usually better if you can put headphones in. But let me mute it. It might be mine. Right. We'll see if that's it. I don't know where it was coming from. Right. Okay. But if you need to put my headphones in, just let us know. So contact your VIPs and ask them. Let them know dates are limited. If that still doesn't work, ask your friends and family. Like, if you don't ask them, they'll, some people just won't think to offer. So ask them, look, can you help us out? And what you usually find is if it's your sister or your mum, they won't often take the white cash. They'll quite often say, oh, you just keep it, build your kit with it. That's what we get with a lot of the girls on the team. So friends and family are another great one to have hosted. And failing all that, host your own. One thing, if you haven't had a launch party yet, if your sponsor hasn't accompanied you to a launch party, please go back and ask them, because I'm sure the majority of them do this. When I have a new direct start, we will hold a launch party, because obviously I've got a nice kit now.
Everything that I take around the home parties, I've got the tablecloth, the banner, everything like that. And I'll go and I'll host that party for them. They don't need to do anything. They just literally sit and watch how I do it, so that then they're comfortable to go off and do their own, and they can take my kit with them. My kit's not my kit, it's a business tool now. It's never with me. So I'm sure your sponsor would be happy to go with you at least and launch a party, but host your own, and then you get all the other wire cash as well, and you can build your kit with it. So you found your hostess, by whichever one of those means you found her. What you need to do is obviously agree your date and time with her, and what you're going to do first is on Facebook, the week before that party, is you're going to create an event. Now, it's not like your online party where you're posting it all the time. All this event does is get people used to who you are, give them the details of where it's going to be and what time, and let them have a sneak preview of the product. So when they come on Saturday night, they know who you are, they know what you're about, what you're selling, and they might have had an eye on one of the products. And if you've posted about the mascara, a lot of the time when you turn up on the Saturday, they'll say, have you got that mascara that you posted in the event? Excuse me. So 1 week before, go to WordSwag, make a nice graphic, whoever's party, so Gemma's Beauty and Bubbles party, and use that as your cover picture for Facebook, and make it really nice and standing out, and make sure you make it about the person, about the hostess. Put the date and time in there as well, make sure that's correct and it's in the right time zone, because we've had that before as well, and add the hostess's address so that people know where they're going, and as soon as they open it up, they know what to expect. You're going to put a brief description about what they can expect as well. Come along to Gemma's party for a night of makeovers or a night of makeup and drinks, and just make it sound dead casual, dead fun, and let them know there's going to be some games as well. Once you've created that event, the only person you're going to add to that invite to that is the hostess. Once you've invited the hostess, let her know that you've invited her, and all she needs to do then is invite people to that event who she wants to come to the party on the night time. I see some presenters that open up get a hostess and say, right, you need to open an event on Facebook, then you need to invite your friends. We don't do that. We've promised to make this as simple for your hostess as possible. You create the event, you invite her to the event, she invites her friends. That's all she has to do. She's not opening events. If you're not Facebook savvy, you wouldn't know how to open an event, so we can't expect people to just know how to do that. And also by her inviting her friends, they know who she is and they're going to accept the invite. So she invites her friends, and make sure if she's got friends who aren't on Facebook that she's letting them know as well. Or she's got people that can't attend the party, she's got catalogues. So a week before, if I've got my hostess ready, I'll prepare her, tell her I'm opening this event, and I'll also give her some catalogues and order forms and get her to take them to work, to the gym, to a club she goes to. Anyone who can't make the party, you can still get pre-orders so that she's turned up on the night. She might not have any, and that's fine. There might be people that she's missed who can't make it, so give her a couple of catalogues as well. And obviously if our friends aren't on Facebook, she invites them personally. So what you're going to do in that event over the next 7 days is you're going to keep it so simple. We're not making videos in there, we're not posting 3 times a day like an online party. You're posting once a day. So for the first 5 days, I tend to post 1 mascara post. The second day I'll post a foundation post, just the before and after, or a half and half. Try and make it you. If not, we've got photo files and things like that in groups on Facebook, and just the top 5 products. Obviously we've got all the bacon going on now with the setting powder, things like that, the concealer, the way it covers your dark circles, the really standout products that people can look at and think, wow, that's amazing. So for 5 days I post about them. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll post a product a day. On the Friday, I'll let them know how they can pay. So sometimes people come to the event, or they turn up and they think, I've got no money. Some people don't like to say, you can pay by cash, because it sounds a bit like, oh, it's cringy, you can pay by cash if you're saying it to them on the night. So I like to just pop a quick post in there saying, can't wait to meet you all and come along and try the products. There's absolutely no pressure at all to buy, but if you would like to purchase something, you can pay by cash, or I'll also be bringing along a card reader. Now my card reader is an iZettle card reader, and it's an absolute godsend. iZettle is iZettle. When I started, you could get them free. the card reader light, it was called. You could get them free now. I don't know if you can anymore, but even if you get the Pro, I think it's about £30. It's definitely worth it, because if you have ladies come on a night time with £20 in the pocket and then they see something they love and they've got the card on them, they're going to buy that product. So definitely invest in a card reader. And I think with iZettle, for every £100 payment I take, they take £3. So it doesn't cost a lot either to have that as well. So definitely invest in a card reader if you're doing home parties. Obviously, if it's not something you're going down the route of, don't worry too much about it. So you're letting them know how you can pay the day before, and then on the day you're going to just do graphics in. So excited to see you all tonight. If anybody's wanting a makeover, please come makeup free, and we'll give you a makeover. Now, when it comes to giving the makeovers, and I'll talk about this a bit later, I used to avoid giving makeovers because I wasn't confident. And you'll find at the home parties, because you're there selling makeup, they expect you to know everything about everything, and if you don't, that's fine. They'd rather you were honest and say, look, I'm not a professional, and I said every time, I'm not a professional, but I can do this, or I can do it that way, or try it this way. And I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Leanne Ward, and it sticks with me every time before I go to do a makeover and I get scared. She always says, get as much product on people's faces as you can. Now, if you get product on people's faces, they are going to want to buy that product. If you send someone off with all of the products and let them apply it themselves, and they don't know how they're applying it, they're not going to get the same effect as if you give them a full makeover. So get as much product on people's faces as you can. I'm not talking on them and loads of big, high eyeshadow and highlighter, but use as many products as you can. And if you can't get them all that night, they'll come back and buy them later. So that made me just get on with it, just get over that fear of applying makeup. So you've got up now to the day of your party. You've told them you can't wait to meet them on the night time. They know who you are. They've seen your name pop up for the last 7 days. Now, before you leave the house, make sure you're organised and you've got everything that you need, because once you get there and you forgot something, it's like Stress City. Obviously, you need your kit. You need a kit. Take your kit. Make sure you ask the hostess, does she have a table that can be in the main seating area? So sometimes when I used to go and do parties, a table, and then when you get there, it's in the dining room and everyone's sitting in the living room. How you want the setup to be is everybody sitting around and you in front of them with your table. So I've got 2 different size tables because I'm super organised. I've got a 4 foot and a 6 foot, and it depends on the size of the house. For the size of the table, I'll take. But I always try and take the bigger one, because you don't want things to be chucked on and crammed on, and I find with the smaller table it doesn't look as nicely set out. So if you've got your own table, if you live near me, come and borrow mine. And a tablecloth, obviously, to make it look. You don't want to take your pacing table. You want a tablecloth as well. And then I've got a banner, like a roll-up banner that pulls up, and that's really great for events and things like that. Mirrors, so I bought my own mirrors from eBay. They were a couple of quid. Make sure they're clean. They don't want to have fingerprints all over them from the last party, because it just looks gross. Clean mirrors, baby wipes. Take baby wipes. Don't let them use your shine wipes to take the lip stains off the hands. Do you know what I mean? Because that's going to cost you a fortune. We're there to make money. If we're spending a fortune on shine wipes, it's not going to work. So take baby wipes. Take your card reader if you've got one. I always take my own pens. Lip gloss applicators. This is really important, because some people are either really funny about using the lipsticks and lip gloss and things like that, and a lot of people do carry cold sores that are dormant. So you need to make sure they're using the lip gloss applicators. Your catalogues and your order forms. Make sure you take proper order forms. Don't take a book where you're scribbling people's orders down. A nice order form, and you get them from Scan It Media. Take your order form and any gifts or prizes, but I'll cover them later of what I give out to the hostess and things like that. Gifts and prizes, and your script. So I have a little script on tidier cards in these, but just little cards that I hold in front of us while I'm speaking as well. I used to make goodie bags up, but I found that if you putting foundation and primer and concealer in pots and sending them off to people, after a couple of weeks, if they hadn't used them, they were starting to dry. and they weren't getting the same effect. So I wasn't actually gaining any further orders from goodie bags with samples in. So now what I do is I just take sample pots, and if anybody wants to try anything or take something away, especially like the instant lifting serum, people always want samples of that. I'll just give them a pot on the night as they ask for it. What else do I take? Oh yes, an animal bingo as well, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So on the night, I'm just going to go to my phone because my other notes are on there, because that's how organised I am. Not. So on the night of the party, you are going to get to that house an hour early, and obviously arrange that with the hostess that you're going to be there early. If they have little kids there, let them help, if even just taking the lids off the lipsticks. Don't let them feel like, there's nothing worse I feel when you go to someone's house and the hostess is like, don't touch that, or get yourself to bed, or leave the lady alone, things like that. Like, just, I always said, they're absolutely fine, come on, they come help. Couple of kids who do regulars for bought them little lanyard. So
Jem, sorry, just try and stick your earphones in. It started to get some feedback then.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Thank you. I think is that me headphone?
Yeah. Are we there?
Is that better, Leanne? You've gone muted.
Yeah, that's better.
Right. Right. Okay, let us know if it happens again. I think I've got them in the right hole. Right, okay, so thanks, Leanne. Yeah, if you've got little kids there, I tend to buy them a little lanyard and get them involved and just write the names on, and they absolutely love that. They're great for handing out the catalogues, they're great for setting the table up. They're just a great little help. Make sure that they still are careful with your products, so don't want any smashed lipsticks or things like that. So get them to help. If they've got friends and family that have arrived early, just speak to them, get to know them, so that before the party starts, they've got a good first impression of you, especially. As the people are starting to come through the door, I always get a bright pink lip liner and a black eyeliner, and I go around and I draw 2 lines on the back of the hands, and it's a little conversation starter. You know, you could break the ice with them. I usually say, can I just pinch your hand a minute? I'm not marking you up for anything. Just want to draw a couple of lines on your hands. Don't ask what it's for, we'll come back to it later. And then you can work around the room that way. So get the 2 lines on the back of the hands, and then you've got to sort of, you know, give people a chance to, they might not have seen each other for ages. They might be friends of friends, you know, and they're just having a bit of catch up. So don't get them in the house, and because that party is due to start at 7, have everyone home and seats by 7 o'clock. You'll usually find that if that party is due at 7, you can expect it to start at either 7:30, 7:45. So always allow for that extra time. But then obviously if they're talking too much, you need to like get them in that living room. So get everyone sat down, and this is where I play Animal Bingo. Now I've got the forms for Animal Bingo and an itinerary of everything I talk about in a file that I'll maybe speak to Katie and see if I can post it in Fabulash, if that would help, and then people can use that, and then you've got the bingo boards and things like that. So Icebreaker, Animal Bingo is basically, I give them all a little card that I've printed out at home. They pick 6 numbers, you've probably seen it, 6 numbers, 1 to 20, and you call their numbers out, and they choose an animal as well that makes a noise. Every time they call the number out, they make the noise. You call the number of theirs out, they make the noise of the animal, and to win the prize, they have to get up and make the noise and the action of the animal. So when you're telling them this, they're usually like, oh my God, like, oh, I don't want to do it. But then when you tell them that you're going to give them a bottle of Prosecco and 10% off anything that they order on the night, they are so up for it. Like, people do anything for a bottle of Prosecco, honestly. Just slip that in there and they'll be more than willing to take part. So we play Animal Bingo. It's a great icebreaker. People find it hilarious. So it's a great way to get started. So after Icebreaker, I then go on to talk about the products. Now, I used to have a script of the products, and possibly if you're still new, I would. So if you're talking about the rose water, you want to know that it's got anti-inflammatory properties, and it contains honeysuckle, and the story of the instant lifting, all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, the girls are saying that the sound quality is really bad. I've just got my earphones. I don't know if you want to give it a wiggle around with your connection.
Let's have a look, see if I can just find a different hole, because I might have it in the wrong hole.
Sorry, girls, just bear with us. This happens. It's technology. It doesn't like me.
It's the right one for them. Why is it not working? Just a second. No, they're in, Leanne. Don't know why it's not working. Can you hear us at all?
We can hear you, but it's just really crackly for some reason. Some of the girls are saying they can't hear you. I can still hear you, but it's really crackly. It was fine at the beginning. It's just been kind of the last couple of minutes. I thought it might have been your headphones, but it's working. It just sounds bad. Don't panic. We've got time. Don't panic. Just...
Okay. The headphones are in. However...
Take them out and see if it's better if they take them out again.
Can I try and talk for a couple of minutes and let us know if it's any better?
Yeah.
And if not, I'll stick them back in.
Okay. Take them out.
Okay. Just stop us all, Leanne, if it's not working.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah. Are they out?
Right. They're out. They're out. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Go.
Right. So, just give me these notes back up. So, you're playing Animal Bingo and you're going to talk about the products. Now, I used to have everything written down about the products. Now I don't. I find it much more relaxing to talk about the top products at the time. I sort of go through my table and talk about what it's up to you, what you want to talk about. However, in the itinerary that I've got, it lists different ways that I use to speak about the products and what I used to talk about. One thing I will say is keep it to 20 minutes. People get so nervous thinking they're going to be standing up in front of people, and literally you don't want to be there for longer than half an hour. 20 to 30 minutes maximum is all that you need, because you don't want to bore them. You've got this lovely table set out behind you that you've made look really attractive. I've got some like acrylic holders for the lipsticks and the beauty serums and moisturisers and things like that, and I've got nice shiny vases. I've got all kinds on there, and people just want to be up playing with it. They don't want you standing talking at them for too long, so don't bother them, basically. Don't bother them. You'll start to see them shut off a bit when they're thinking, oh my god, will she shut up? That's when it's time to stop and get them up to try everything. How's the sound, Leanne? Does it sound okay?
No, they say, I think a couple of them are saying it's gone worse. It's not too bad on my side. I don't know if it's because I've got headphones in. I'm just trying to work out what's going on. See, it stopped now. Just start talking.
I've stuck my headphones back in there. How does that sound? Is anyone feeding back to how that sounds? There's only one hole on my laptop that I can possibly put the headphones in.
Yeah, I know, it's just weird. It wasn't doing it at the beginning. It's just started for some reason. I thought it might have been mine because I didn't have my microphone on mute.
Is that still crackling now? Because I've got no background noise.
You go now and let me mute mine again.
Right, okay. I'll just talk and then stop us again. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So yeah, don't talk at them too much is what I was saying. They don't want to be bored. They want to be up and getting ready. And I always say that to them at the start. Is that okay, Leanne? Is that sounding all right now? So? Okay. So when you're talking to them at the start, I always say to them, I'm not going to stand and talk at you for too long so that they know they're not sort of in it for the long haul. And I talk about whichever products I feel confident in. Obviously, we all feel confident about different kinds of things. So what is your favourite product? And I give demonstrations of the 5 lashes. I show them how to contour with a bronzer. I show them how to do an ombre lip. Just really simple things that you can do while you stood up in front of the audience. How's that sounding, Leanne?
It's still crackly, but I can tell what you're saying. So unless it gets really bad, I'm not going to stop you.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then if they've got any questions, they can put them in the chat if they kind of miss anything, and I can catch up. I'm watching the chat, so I'll answer them for you, yeah?
Okay, it'll be this rubbish laptop. This rubbish laptop. I need to treat myself to a new one. Right, okay. I haven't got much more to say anyway, but like I say, I'm going to post the file in Fabulash, so and that might answer a lot of your questions as well. That's good. Okay, good. So once you've spoke about what you feel confident in speaking about, then I just wrap everything up with a nice game called the poem game. Again, that is in the file that I'll post in Fabulash, and it's a poem game where people basically follow the instructions of the given poem. So it's like, look for the person with the biggest feet, look for the person with the most buttons, things like that, and you need a wrapped gift for that. So I usually wrap up a neutral shaded lip gloss. Don't wrap up a 3D fibre lash, because someone was maybe going to order that and now they've won it. But similarly, I try and do something a little bit more than just a box of chocolates. I like it to be something a little bit different. So I play the poem game, and that goes down really, really well. And then after the poem game, I will thank the hostess for having us, and just let them know that the hostess has been given a bottle of Prosecco. I tend to give that and a card to say thank you, and that just makes them, you know, it makes it look like you and you are really grateful. It's not that it just makes it look really great, like you're grateful, but just to thank you for having them. She's opened her home up and you're all really grateful to be there. Then at that point, I offer the opportunity. So I'll say to them, is everything all right, Leanne? Yeah. Okay, so then at that point, what I'll do is I'll say to them, you know, this time last year, this time 2 years ago, I never would have seen myself up here speaking in front of all of you lovely people, and I still get nervous. But, you know, this is what this opportunity has given us. I'm confident, I've got more confidence. I missed out at the beginning, but when I start, I do a little introduction on myself. I tell them I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and that I work, so that when you come to offer the opportunity at the end, they will then think, well, if she can do that, and she's out on a Saturday night, she's got 2 kids at home, and she works during the week, like, I can do that. So you're instantly saying to them, you know, from the word go, that it's for everybody, that, you know, if I can do it, you can. So I ask if anyone would like to do what I wanted to do, what I do, sorry. I tend not to mention the foundation until around about this point. If you go straight into a home party and start talking about the unique foundation, it can be a little bit off-putting for people. I feel like before you start speaking about that, you've got to, like, gain people's trust, and you've got to be credible. So I tend to do that at this bit here. I mentioned the foundation. I'll just briefly say a little bit about it, and anything that the order of percentage of that will go towards funding the foundation. So that's often the opportunity. And then what we go on to do just before they come up to try all the products is we do something called the fun register. So I usually get people up at this point and get them milling about, so it doesn't look so obvious, get them milling about, trying the product, trying things on. And then what I do is I go back to the event that we created on Facebook the week before, and for everybody who clicked attend, or everybody who said who didn't say they weren't going, I'll shout the names out and say, right, we're just going to do a quick fun register. Obviously, we haven't added them as friends before this point because they haven't met you, they don't really know you. You want to gain that trust first. And I'll shout out, is Leanne such and such here? Yes. Great, Leanne, I'm just going to add you as a friend, and I'm going to add you to my VIP group. Is that okay? And then you go to the next person, shout them out. Great. And you sort of add them as a friend, as though you're ticking them off a register. You're in the same room as them. You've just spent at least an hour talking with them and getting to know them and showing them the products. They're more likely to accept your friend request. And you also don't have to go around and explain to every single person what your VIP group is if you do it all as a whole. So what you want is you want everyone in that room before they leave the house that night to be on your friends list, because some of them, I know when I take the orders in, I just drop it off with the hostess. Bag them up, drop it off with the hostess. I won't see a lot of those ladies ever again. So what you want is you want them on your friends list in your VIP group before they leave that night. So do the fun register, and then people are trying the makeup on, they're milling about. This bit can be really busy. Obviously everyone's trying different things, and you know they're asking what colours what and what colours what, and as long as they've got catalogues and iPads, that was the part that used to stress me out the most when I first started thinking, how am I going to answer all these questions? But it just flows, it really does flow. And if you haven't done a home party before, you just need to go and give it a go, and you'll learn. I'm still learning now. I learn, and every home party is different. Like, you could go and have an absolutely amazing home party one week, and you could go to a home party the week after and do exactly the same script. same, have the same products, and it can be an absolute flop. So it's not what you're doing, it's just the different audiences that you have. So I'll definitely say just go out there and do them and take the good with the bad. Once people have tried the fact that all the different makeup and the products and the skincare, and they've got the samples and things like that, they'll be wanting to pay either by card or by cash, or however you're willing to take payment. Once you've took all your payments in and your order forms, that's why it's good to have order forms. What I do is I add up all the orders in pounds of what everyone's made, and then I'm going to let the hostess know there and then, and I'm going to announce to the whole room what that hostess has earned. So to work that out, you take all of the orders in pounds, and this is on the file as well if anybody needs this to look back on. So if you have an order of £500, what you need to do is use mascara math to transfer that to PRS. So you take your £500, you times it by 29 by 23, and that gives you your party points total, or your PRS total. So the amount in pounds times 29 shared by 23 gives you your PRS. At that point, you go into your website, you go to where it says party on the party link, scroll down and you'll find a party performance dashboard. You're doing this so quick at the time as well, because you're in the middle of a party. Have a bit of a practice before you go finding where things are. You type in the party rewards amount that you've gotten. So £500 is 630 PRS. You type that into there, and it instantly brings you up how much wire cash and how many half price items that hostess has been awarded. And if you can announce to that room, thank you so much, Leanne has earned herself £85 worth of free products and 3 half price items. The amount of people that weren't going to host a home party when you asked, but now they will, because they know they're going to get a load of free makeup. And again, I'll say, if anybody would like to host a home party, let us know before I go, because dates are limited. So announcing the wire cash to people is a really big thing for bringing people back in. So that wasn't something I always used to do, but I do now. So yeah, just to finish off, your home parties, once all of your friends and families have bought and your warm market saturated, your home parties will be your bread and butter, because if you hit Green Elite status and you have to do a minimum of 500 PRS, like, don't stress yourself out thinking, where am I going to get £430 worth of orders from this month? One home party can take that out. So if you get a home party on payday weekend, which is the best one, and you can put that order through, that's your whole month done. That's your whole month potentially done if you can get a good home party, 2 home parties. But I always try and do 1 a month minimum, and then that's going to cover a good chunk of your 500 PRS. They're hands down the best way to find new customers and network with new people. You could have a room of 15 people and you only know one of them. That's 14 new people you can network with. And I've had some amazing home parties, and I've had some awful home parties. And it's just about taking the good with the bad. And if it's not something you felt confident enough to do in the past, then please just give it a go. And one thing to say just before I go, or just before I finish, there was a lady who's just joined my team, and I said this is the event called Claire, and she's gorgeous. And I held a home party for her friend 2 years ago. Claire didn't want to come to that party. She's since told me she was dreading it. Didn't want to come. She turned up, didn't make an order. She was the only person that didn't order. And from then, there was like an itch that she couldn't, something she's on your mind all the time. And now she's joined the team. She's hit yellow status promotion. She's absolutely flying. She only joined in January, and I did that home party back in November 2015. So, it's planting the seeds, like what we talk about. It's planting seeds. You might do a home party, and someone might come back to you in a year's time and join your team. So that's me on home parties. I'm sorry the sound hasn't been too good. It'll be this laptop. It's absolutely pants.
It's okay, don't worry. It's gone perfect. Yeah. Will you just recap on that animal bingo, because that's when we had the issues and one of the girls said she missed it all.
Yeah, no problem. So is the sound still okay?
Yeah, it's perfect now.
So animal bingo is in the file that I'll post. In fact, do you think I should ask Katie? Do you think I should just post it?
No, just post it. I'll give her the heads up. Are you there?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah. If you just put on following on from tonight's pillar training, she'll know what it is then.
Right, brilliant. So what you need to do is, in that file, there's on the last page, there's 14 bingo boards just printed out on card, and I cut them out. And there's boxes. You pick 6 numbers from 1 to 20. They can't be duplicated. They have to pick, 6 different numbers from 1 to 20, and they have to pick an animal that makes a noise. Then, when you shout out the numbers, so all I do is I write the numbers 1 to 20 on the back of one of my cards, and I cross them off. It's not scientific at all. I just write them down as I go. Once you shout the number 6, if they have the number 6, they have to make the noise of the animal, the chosen animal. Once they've shouted bingo, because they've called all 6, they have to get up and make the sound and the action of the animal. So they've got to get up in the middle of the room. Another thing that's worth noting is it has to be the first person to get up, because I've had parties where we've had 4 people that have all won. So it's got to be the first person up and in the middle of the room. Otherwise, you're going to have loads of winners, and there can only be one. Those boards are all print off and use.
Okay. Somebody else has asked, do you ever do a raffle?
I tend not to do raffles. I know that people that do, but honestly, when you go, there's that much going on to think about. I can't see where I could squeeze a raffle in, because I would just be like, oh, too much. And if you're taking a pound here and a pound there, just keep it simple.
Someone's asked, if no one orders, does that mean the hostess doesn't get anything?
What I tend to do, so you've got to explain to the hostess in the beginning that she has to have a qualifying party of £160, 200 party points to get anything. So I do warn her, pre-warn her that, if her friends and family don't order, there is a chance that a party won't qualify. However, if she doesn't, she'll always get a bottle of Prosecco from me, and I'll always just give a half price item anyway, just to say thank you. So if she doesn't get anything in white cash, you could still give her one of your half price items that we tend to accumulate a lot of.
Yeah, I was going to say I tend to have a lot of half price stuff, so I usually let my hostess have one of them. Everyone else is saying they're all fab tips. Thank you for the help, been so helpful. Thank you. Has anybody else got any questions? I think that covers all the questions. I don't think they have. They're all saying thank you so much. They've loved all the great tips. People have done home parties before, and now they're going to use these. Yay! Okay, what if you were a new presenter who doesn't have anything to offer? So you just give them the bottle of Prosecco like you do, Gemma?
Yeah, if you don't have half price items, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just give them the bottle of Prosecco. To be honest, I don't often say when I look for a hostess, I only offer the free bottle of Prosecco. I don't say, oh, you can have a half price item. That would be something that would come to the end of the night, and I would say, because I can, look, I'm really sorry, but you haven't qualified. And they've usually drank the bottle of Prosecco, and they've had a good night anyway, because the friends have been around. So they don't mind so much. And another thing, if you're a new presenter and you're worried that you don't have a lot of kit, everything that's in your starter kit is the top selling products. Everything that you've got, you can take and make a home party on that. If you've got a sponsor that will go with you, great, but I didn't have a sponsor to come with me to my home party, so I started out with just a few bits in my kit. So don't worry if you think you haven't got everything. It doesn't matter, as long as you've got your catalogues to show the colours.
The presenter kit's amazing now.
Yes, it is now, especially now.
I think it's about 3 times as big as the one I got.
It is.
If you are worried being a new presenter and you haven't got the money as well to be buying bottles of Prosecco, just a little card, honestly. Yes. Just a little token, just a little card that you can get. And if you go into the card factory, you can get like little packs of thank you cards, 10 thank you cards for $1.99 and stuff. So it doesn't work out at all, so don't worry too much. But I think that's everything. So thank you so much, Gemma, for taking the time out of your Monday night and coming sharing your tips. I knew you ladies would enjoy it. And when it come up events, I'm thinking, right, events. Well, everybody knows that they need to go to events, and they only need to get to training events. What else can we put under this umbrella? And I thought, home parties, Gemma. So thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's been amazing.
Thank you for having us, Leanne.
And do you know what? Every time I hear you speak, I always get something else. So I hope you've got notes, ladies, like I have. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, ladies.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.